out more about Christmas in Columbia today here on Good Things. It's been a great day hearing from some of the business owners that have their stores or their products down here on Main Street, or I guess in downtown. But now we're going to find out a little bit more about the events and catch up with one of our Good Things favorites, Will Jordan. He's an artist and photographer. We also have Lori Watts, who is the CEcD president. I got a mouthful there. Lori, and you have been making your way here all day talking about the great events, and every year we get to come and do this. Y'all keep stepping it up. There's another level, there's another layer to the entire experience. I know it's been 2 years since we have actually been here live for it, and the ice skating rink is here and in real color this time. Yes. And so what else is new this year?
This year we have a second ice rink that is bumper cars, ice bumper cars, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, we have the children's favorite Grinch train that keeps running. The kids absolutely love that, but I think it has a new route this year, so it's a little bit different for the children to enjoy. We have some new events this year in the special nights where there are special prices for different groups. We have first responders. I think that first night is this coming Thursday night. Then we have a military night. There's a youth night. There's teachers night, college night. So those are all on experiencecolumbiams.com. You can see which night you would get a special price if you fall into that group. So that's a lot of fun. And then also every Thursday night, DJ Don King is going to be here playing. I think there's Dancing Through the Decades is what they're calling it, with a focus on the 70s, 80s, and 90s on each Thursday night. So that's going to be a lot of fun for people to have a little bit of a street party in the midst of all of this. So
the thing that's been going through all of our guests today, Lori, is that Experience Columbia is not just about this great, wonderful Christmas celebration, which kind of from what I've been hearing today here is kind of happened just sort of happenstance. I think it started with like 4 little snowflakes, and then it just sort of grew over time, and now look where we're at and what we're talking about and all the things. But it really feels like you guys invest in those that are willing to invest back into Columbia, whether that be anyone from Juanita, who with her Lux and Sweets, from the ladies with Three Chic Dames, who was looking for apparel, and then I went into 2nd Street, the coffee shop earlier, and it just feels like you are there to sort of help anyone who's wanting to make sort of roots or have roots here in downtown Columbia all year long.
We are. That is exactly what our message is, because all of these businesses, I was telling someone earlier that since we started this in 2018, we have 17 new businesses in our downtown area that have started. Now, those businesses are open all year long, so we want to support them because Columbia is a great place to shop in March and July, just like it is in November and December. So we do support our local businesses, and that is a great thing about Columbia, is that it is a supportive community. I was listening to the Three Chic Dames ladies a little bit earlier, and it just reminded me of how many people we have in Columbia who are willing to give back and to help others. When we have local people who are in trouble, there are so many who are willing to have fundraisers and give to help people get out of situations perhaps that if they are in bad situations, but also to help people aspire and build their dreams. So that is also what is great about Columbia, is that it is a great place to build a business, build a dream, create a dream, just like our friend Will over there.
Not all businesses necessarily have the traditional storefront, and
after he got to Columbia, and I think he would say that the community has been very supportive of his his work, and a local artist. There are other local artists who also experience that. So it's a special place.
It is a special place. And, well, Jordan's special to Good Things because you've been a long-time listener. We met when we first came here to Columbia. How many years ago was that now? I'm trying to think. Three or so years ago. And if you notice, if you're part of the Good Things Facebook group, which you should be, there's no reason not to be, you'll notice that oftentimes he shares his wonderful work because you capture a lot of the fireworks and the lights down here, and you really showcase the beauty that Experience Columbia and this entire event is trying to put on every night as the sun sort of goes down. So what's it like from an artistic standpoint to go from 4 little snowflakes hanging on the side of one of the buildings down here to watching it to now? Wow.
It's just great. And to piggyback kind of what Lori was saying, the community is great to help you bloom and grow as an artist, as a photographer, whatever it is that you want to grow as. The whole community is great to do that. And the people that are involved with Experience Columbia reflect that in what they're doing. They're growing, and they're allowing anyone who wants to be involved, they allow you to grow. If you want to help out, if you want to take photos, if you want to, whatever it is you want to do, they allow you to grow as well and help out in what they're doing, because it's all about just giving back to the community. I mean, I talked to a lot of those guys that help put this on, and it's like they said, we do this for our kids. I'm really doing this for my kids. I'm trying to set up a better Columbia for them. We're trying to set up a better community, and I know Lori feels the same way. We're all setting up for something better. So it's not just for us. It's not just for the oohs and ahs of looking at the fireworks. We're trying to give this to our kids, and everything we do. And Experience Columbia, you come for it. Yeah, it's the fun. I just came straight from Disney World, and I came back to Disney World, coming back here. And so, and Disney World is almost as good as Main Street Columbia. They've almost got it down working. But, we can get caught up in the oohs and the ahs. But, just like they take the Nativity here seriously, and they take that story. But what that's all about, what Christmas is really all about, that's what this is really all about. We do all this, but we do it for God, and we do it for our families, and that's what's most important. And it comes through. And it comes through, and I think, every community has their signature event. Most of them do. You guys have really figured out how to excel with the Christmas sort of experience, and I think, I think that's a wonderful sort of thing. But it takes a supportive community all year long. It's not like you can just sit back on the back burner the rest of the year and then just all come together for Christmas. Exactly. It doesn't really work that way, because listening to SuperTalk earlier with Middays, I heard someone mention, Lori, it may have been you, that you guys start thinking about Christmas back in June or July now to start getting this going.
Absolutely, yeah. And the actual physical structures began to go up in September, but that meant that a lot of planning and contracts and things like that have to be in place in June and July for those things for the building to start in September. So it is a year-round thought process at this point.
That is one place where Columbia don't have Disney. Disney can flip that switch in like less than 24 hours. For the rest of us humans, it takes a little bit longer even to put up our own Christmas tree at
But you would be amazed to see how the downtown transforms.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of overnight, but it's amazing.
Well, if you are a Columbian, I guess you can call yourselves that, then you guys get the first light switch of it, right? I mean, you guys get to see it for the first time, and I think there's always something magical, and you take pride, even in your home Christmas decor, when you plug in the thing for the first time or flip the first switch or whatever it may be. So the first night that it came on was what, November
27th was the rink opened November 20th, but we actually had the lighting on this past Saturday, November 27th.
And I think that's probably a special time because it's probably just locals, and then you're going to start getting not inundated. That sounds like such a bad word, but it starts to where all of our visitors start to come in and sort of seeing, which is what you want. But there's something sweet about having at least those first. It's just being the hometown.
There was a pretty big crowd here. There was a pretty big crowd, and we're happy to have them. But I will say that, so sometimes I work near Main Street, right off Courthouse Square, and if I work late on a night when they're starting to get things put together, and I come out of my office and the lights are flashing and I can't hear music yet, I know somebody's listening to music because they're testing those light shows out, right? And it is a great feeling to know that all that's going on and that everybody's working together to make it happen.
So is there one button?
I think there's one room.
Maybe one room.
Because I feel like I'm one of those. I want to touch the button.
Well, to make you appreciate the guy who's in charge of the lights, that's an individual. He programs each light individually.
Each light is individually
It's not just
programmed.
like your Christmas decorations you set up. Each little snowflake he has to go through and organize how that's going to go.
I have deep respect for that gentleman
Yeah.
because I think we've all experienced you put up your tree or you get down your lights, and what's the cardinal rule of putting up holiday lights? You do what? You check the lights before you put, you finish.
They still never work.
And
when
then
you get them on
it
the
still
tree.
never works whenever you get them on the tree. And to only imagine having to figure out which light. Any idea how many lights are actually up here in Columbia?
Oh, wow, I should know that. And I know I've been told
You could
that.
totally throw out like a
But
ridiculous
I
number,
think
and
it's-
nobody
I do
would.
think it is. I think it's very close to 1 million. I really do think.
You know
it's
what?
very
We're
close
going to
to 1
run with
million.
that number, and we're going to stick with it, and we're going to stick with Christmas in Columbia for a little bit longer here on Good Oregon. Everything you need to know about Christmas in Columbia is experiencecolumbiams.com. And I have to say, Rhino, thank you for all the Christmas music today, even though it's Columbia's fault. I should be thanking them for the wonderful Christmas music because we are talking about Christmas in Columbia today. I always get excited when I can get an entire show of good things and hear the good music. Okay, Lori, but there's lots of music and lights right here in Columbia, and we are probably like 2.5 hours away from the sun going down, and that's when all the lights will start to come on. And that really is, no matter what night you come between now and New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, is the main event, is the lights. So tell us about how to catch those.
So the lights come on every evening at 5 p.m. Then every hour on the hour from then until 9 p.m. there is a light and music synchronized show with Christmas music and the lights dancing all across the downtown and on the courthouse and everywhere else. The skating rink is open 5 to 9 every day, and other activities like the Grinch train, the s'mores packets with the fire pits so that you can roast your s'mores. That is going on at the same time. Lots of food. The shops are open. There's just all of that happens every night. Then on the weekends, on Friday night at 7 and on Saturday night at 7, except for this Saturday night, which is our Christmas parade at 6. But otherwise, at 7 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, we have our Nativity Presentation, which involves a dramatic presentation on the rooftops and down the middle of Main Street with the story of the Nativity and the Christmas story with Christ child and shepherds and wise men and angels and all of that coming together and presenting that story to the crowds. So that is pretty much
So
the
much
schedule.
going on.
So
Yep.
much going on.
And again,
then in New Year's Eve, we will have a big celebration, so stay tuned for those
Which will be here
details.
before we know
will,
it.
But first, we're going to enjoy all of this time during Christmas.
Soak it up, soak it in, and the one thing you do so well, Will, is to show the rest of us through visual art of what's going on in downtown. And I know as the lights have grown, it's probably gotten trickier or harder to sort of capture it. But you better than anybody kind of know where the right spot is to catch it all here downtown. So when you have your camera and you're trying to get, the lights, where do you perch up, Will?
Unfortunately, on top of the rooftops you see around you, which, as you can see, are not built for big guys like me, but that is where the best shots are going to be. So a lot of the stuff you see for Experience Columbia, big landscape shots, are a lot of shots that I've seen up on rooftops around. And there's ways to get there, and it's a lot better than it was last year. Some of the ways we had to get up there was like 15-foot little rickety ladders, and you're just praying the whole time, and nothing goes through. But just being up there and seeing the event and just getting the whole shot as it is an amazing feeling to sit there and watch everyone just enjoy, and amazing to be a part of it.
If you were to grab a cup of coffee, Lori, and find yourself a bench downtown, which there's so many that you can just stop and take it all in and sit, how long is the light show?
The light show on the hour lasts about 15 minutes each hour, so you can enjoy that for quite some time, and it's just a great feeling to sit and watch and enjoy that. It really is heartwarming to see the lights all twinkling and dancing to the music. So
Does it ever get old?
it never gets old to me, never.
And Will,
And it's new music every year, so it's not like it's the same show every year.
you were talking about too, I mean, y'all have Disney level, if not Disney people, who have come in and sort of helped put it all together or sort of think it through. I mean, Columbia has really invested in the Christmas in Columbia as being, you know, the pinnacle of y'all's year.
We have, and we want we want people to have an excellent experience when they experience Columbia. So we are taking the groups that are putting that on Experience Columbia, that team of people, they really are taking special care to be sure that the experience that our guests have when they come to Columbia is one that that is memorable and in a good way. And so they are taking every opportunity to provide special touches, like the To Be Frank hot dog stand and the antique Coca-Cola freezer and the pretzel stand that actually has Disneyland connections. So all of those little things put together make a really unique atmosphere for us here in Columbia.
Well, I absolutely love it. I encourage everyone to put this on your to-do list between now and New Year's. Will, real quick, where can we go to see your latest work?
Facebook, Will Jordan Photography, LLC, and then on Instagram, Will Joe's Photos, and WMJphotography.com.
WMJphotography.com, and then also experiencecolumbiams.com for all the things that you need for the Christmas in Columbia experience. But stick with us. You got more coming up next here on Super